Hello! Welcome! You ready for some core and strength? Let's get started. Bring those feet together, jumping jacks. So you're gonna do your jumping jacks. I'm gonna explain to you how the workout's gonna work. We have 4 rounds today, and each round has 4 exercises. You're gonna be doing them for 20 seconds apiece. Yeah. 4 times through, and then we'll switch exercises. So really simple, nothing crazy. Lots and lots of core, lots and lots of glutes today. I know how you love those. Let's turn these into cross jacks here. Hands come across, feet come across. So heart rate's not necessarily gonna get super high. That's okay. We're gonna really work on structural strength. So really get into our pelvis, really get into all of the muscles of our glutes. Make sure that we're really holding ourselves in a good position when we're standing, when we're doing other exercises. We all sit for a lot of time during the day, so it's a really good idea to get those muscles working. Make sure that you can actually activate them. All right, plant those feet, nice big circles through those shoulders. And of course, we're gonna do a few push-ups. How could I resist? Switch directions. So when I'm moving my shoulders here, I wanna keep my torso still. I wanna keep my abs on. So as my arm comes around, my arms and shoulders are moving, but my torso isn't so much. Let's open and close those arms here. Just like that. As you can see, I've gotten a little bit of sun this weekend. I may or may not have a little bit of a sunburn on my butt. I don't know. And let's add some rotation, so both shoulders to one side and then the other. And this can feel really nice through the torso too. Add a little twist. Perfect, hands behind the head. Send those hips back for some good mornings. My back is flat. I'm setting my hips back till I feel my hamstrings, and then I'm standing up. We'll do 2 more here. And then we'll turn this into an air squat. Sending those hips back, sending those knees out, keeping the chest up nice and tall. Remember, take a wide step out if you need to. Make room for those hips. We'll do 2 more just like that. I've got my hands behind my head, but you can bring those arms out in front of you. And then we'll come on down to the bottom, rotate. Pick up that heel, knee comes across to shin. And I'm doing this pretty low, but you can come up high, right? No problem here. Now we're gonna have a seat on the floor. We're gonna do a shin box. So my knee is at my instep of my opposite foot. I'm gonna lean back and I'm gonna rotate. So it's like I'm windshield wipering my knees back and forth. Now if you feel good here, you're gonna add a hip extension. So you're gonna come across and then bring those hips up, big extension. Just getting those hips warmed up, getting those glutes warmed up. All right, come up onto those hands and knees. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Lean into and out of the wrists. So when I'm doing these, the closer my knees are to my hands, the more weight is in my feet and my knees. If I walk my knees back, that'll make that tougher on those wrists because I'm transferring more weight into my shoulders. Put those hands around, lean back and into the insides of the forearms. And And last one, put those hands, backs of the hands down. You can piano the fingers there if that feels good. All right, give this just a little roll. So, round one. First exercise, standing hip circles. So I'm gonna stand, I'm gonna hold on to my core, so I'm gonna put my fingers on the inside of my hip bones, feel my transversus, feel my abs across my hips, and I'm gonna pick up that knee really slow, come out wide, all the way around, try not to kick the wall behind you. And then once I come around one direction, I'm gonna go back the other direction. Just like that, nice and slow. Big circle. Try not to let the rest of my body compensate, try and stay upright. Exercise 2, I'm gonna hinge at the hip. Now if I need to hold on to something, a table, the wall, that's totally fine. That same leg's gonna come out behind me in extension. And from here, I'm just gonna lift that foot just a little higher. Notice here how my low back is not extending. So I'm keeping my core on. I'm staying long through the spine. Big extension there through that hip behind me. Then I'm gonna do my standing hip circles on the other side. Then I'll do my standing hip extension on the other side, and we'll do all of that for 4 rounds. 20 seconds apiece. You ready? Grab a sip of water if you need it. We got 10 seconds. So starting with that standing hip circle, you choose which leg you're starting with. Hands on the core, pick that knee up, come out wide, you're drawing this big circle with that knee. Just like that. And then reverse directions. So I'm thinking about pulling my core in, across my hips. Hear that beat, we're going into extension. So hinge, foot's behind me, maybe 2 inches lift, maybe 3. Grab onto the wall if you need to. The back of the couch works really well here too. Okay, hip circles on the other side. Nice giant circle through that leg. Just like that. And the part of the range of motion that you feel like speeding up through, that's where you should slow down. So really try and lift your leg wherever that is. All right, here we are, hip extension. Hinge, lift through that foot. Two inches, 3 inches maybe. I'm focusing on pulling my core in across my hips. That's it. All right, round 2. Hip circles on that other leg. So try not to let the body twist. Try not to let the waist come in and to the side. Try and stay upright. Pull that core in across the hips. Bend that standing knee a little if you need to. Perfect. Hinge at the hip. Nice thick extension behind us. You want to reach those arms out above your head. That's going to make that even harder. My standing leg is gently bent. Ready for that other leg, hip circles, round 2. If you started coming up, back this time instead. Yeah, very good instructions. So what I really want to do here is, especially behind me, I really want to reach. I want to try and exaggerate that circle. Perfect. Hinge at the hip, legs behind me. Big extension through that hip. So I'm not letting my low back do all this work for me. I've pulled my core in across my hips. I'm gently pulling my pubic bone towards my belly button, and I'm lifting through that heel. Round 3, first leg, hip circles. Remember to alternate. So I'm going clockwise first, counterclockwise second. And I keep reversing that direction every time I do it. Nice tall spine. Hold those rib cages in, don't let them extend. Let's get into hip extension here. Hinge at the hip, legs behind us. Nice big reach. So if I forget about my core, this actually isn't too difficult. But as soon as I bring that attention back to those hips, makes it a lot more difficult. All right, hip circles, round 3, second leg. It's also totally normal if one leg feels totally different than the other. Make sure that the standing leg, the knees bent. Hold on to something for balance if you need it. That's it. You ready for that hip extension? Let's hinge at the hip. Core's on, don't forget. Big reach of that leg behind us. So if this is super easy for you, I want you to lift your core and bring those arms up above your head. Don't let the low back come into extension, so don't let the back arch. Pull that core in. All right, last round. Huge circles through that front leg. That's it, front leg, first leg. It's early. I mean, it's the afternoon, but standing hip extension, hinge, bring that leg up behind you, lift that core, pull it in tight. A few that I really like is pretend that a 6-year-old is about to punch you in the tummy. So obviously it's not gonna hurt that much, you don't wanna like brace, but you wanna pull it in, make sure that it's gonna hit a wall there, right? Big circles through our second leg. Our cue doesn't really work, eh? Okay, noted. Reverse directions through these hip circles. Get a really high hip. Amazing. All right, last one. Hinge at the hip. Big extension. So nice and taut across the hips. Bring those arms out if you need to make this a little tougher. Because we got 8 seconds left. And then we get a break. Time. Okay. Whew. Ready for round 2? It's not too bad, I promise. So what we're gonna do here is come down onto our hands and our feet. We've got a tempo push-up. We've got a hold in our plank with a reach. We've got a shoulder push-up, and then we have a Superman range. So what those look like, tempo push-up, I'm coming down slow. And if I want to make it even harder, I'm coming up slow as well. That can be done from your knees, that can be done against the wall, whatever works for you. Push up with a reach, I'm taking my hands in my plank, and I'm reaching my hand all the way to touch my leg. Other side, touch my leg. Shoulder push up, hips come up, head comes towards the floor, just like that. And then my Superman reach, I'm lying on my belly, and I'm reaching those hands behind me. All right, let's start with those tempo push-ups. Nice and slow up, nice and slow down. You got this. I want you to go maybe 2 push-ups total in this time interval. All right, hold it at the top. Reach those hands to touch those legs. Touch, touch, touch. And the key here is to try not to let the body twist at all. So I'm pulled across the hips. I'm nice and firm through the shoulders. Let's turn this into shoulder push-ups. Pop those hips up. Walk those feet in maybe. Head comes to the floor or close to it. You could always do these from the knees, right? Whatever gets into that upper section of your shoulders. Ready for that Superman reach? Lying on our belly, hands are out. Come back up, stack retraction. Pull those shoulder blades together, just like that. Okay, we're coming back to that tempo push-up. Nice and slow down. Nice and slow up. Lifting that core across the hips. Keeping those hands relatively close to your body. Making sure the elbow goes out at about a 45-degree angle. Okay, we're holding our plank. We're reaching with that hand, touch the leg. touch the leg. I don't care if you're on your feet or your knees. I want you to think about, as usual, pulling the core in across the hips, maybe a little squeeze of the glutes. That'll help resist that rotation. Shoulder push up, come up into the air, throw those hips up, and then the head's coming down towards the floor. You got this. Head comes down, push on up. Head comes down, push on up. I'm thinking about trying to get my hips above my hands. All right, lie on your belly. Pull those shoulder blades together and reach. Pull those shoulder blades together. Remember, if you don't like lying on your belly, you can just kneel, right? And wherever I am, I'm pulling my rib cage down so that it faces my hips. Back to push-ups. Tempo push-ups here. Nice and slow. Maybe even slower. Slow up too if you want to make that even harder. I know. We're coming to that hold with the reach. Plant those hands underneath you. Touch your leg. Keep that core on. Don't let it rotate. Do this from your elbows if your wrists don't like it. Oh yeah, that was a lot of instruction all at once. Take a break if you need it. I'm not gonna stop you. Shoulder push-ups. Throw those hips up. Head comes towards the floor. That's it. Top of the shoulders are working here. It's like we're in an overhead position. Yep, you got this, and don't forget, lift that core. And lie down on the belly, big reach. Pull those shoulder blades together. I'm pulling my ribs down. I'm thinking about lifting my abs off the floor, even though I'm in that extension. I know, it feels weird. Squeeze those glutes. You got this. Pull those elbows back just a little further. We got one more round here. All right, here we go. Tempo push-ups. Last one. Super slow in both directions. Maybe a little bit slower. A little slower up too. All right, hold that plank. Come down onto the elbows if the wrists are starting to get sore. Bring those hands, touch those legs. Don't let the body rotate. Don't let it rotate. Keep that core in, keep the ribs facing the hips. So no extension this way, no extension this way. You got this, shoulder push-ups. Lift those hips up, push away from the floor. It's like the crown of my head's reaching towards the ground, and then I'm pushing away like I'm lifting something above my head. But flipped. Okay, we got our last one. Lying on our bellies, here we go. Big reach, pull those elbows back. Reach with those hands. Big pull, big reach. One more, maybe a couple more. Pull those shoulder blades back even further. See if you can get those elbows to touch. That's how it feels. That's it, and time. Okay, round 3. On our backs with the core. First exercise, roll back. We're gonna start at the top of our sit-up. Arms are up. I'm gonna round my spine. I'm gonna come down until my low back touches the floor, and then I'm gonna come back up. That's a roll back, just like this. Round 2, or exercise 2, from this rounded position, I'm gonna come up into extension through my spine, and then back into my rounded position. Up into extension, back into my rounded position. Then I'm gonna plant my hands, legs out. I'm gonna tap a heel to the floor, just like that. And then my fourth, come on up into my back plank. So I'm gonna lift up my hips, hold through my hands, 20 seconds apiece. Are you guys ready? Starting with those rollbacks. Here we go. Plant those feet, arms up, rounded spine, touch the low back to the floor, and then come on back up. Roll back. Come on core into the spine. All right, extension, come on back. And then I'm extending, arms are coming up above my head, chest is coming proud. And then I'm coming back to that rounded position. Big reach, big extension, and come on back into my rounded position. All right, plant those hands, legs are out straight, tap a heel, tap a heel. Remember, bend the knees. If you want to make this easier, heel taps. I'm still thinking about that core across the hips. That's it, pull it in, pull it tight. Okay, put those legs out, plant those hands, lift those hips. You got this. And if the wrists don't like this, do this from the elbows, no problem. All right, back to those roll-ups, roll-backs. Round, low back touches. Come on back up. I'm keeping my feet planted. I'm keeping my arms out in front of me. I'm rounded through the core. I'm thinking about across the hips, pulling it in and tight. Come back, hold. Big extension through the spine. Back into that rounded position. Big proud chest here. And back. Now I will be very clear, when you're doing this extension through the spine, the shoulders are coming to flexion, but you don't need to know that. All right, here we go. We're coming to those hovering heel taps. Plant those hands behind you. Tap a foot, tap a foot, tap a foot. So across my hips, I'm supporting my pelvis with the core. All right, plant those hands behind you. Lift up those hips. Back plank. Here we go. Squeeze those glutes. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. Squeeze those glutes. Lift those hips. Think about that whole pelvic girdle supporting you. All right, back to those roll backs. Plant those feet. Rounded spine. Touch that low back into the floor. Don't let anything else touch. Nothing north of it touches. Come on back up. Maybe a little slower. All right, hold it. Extension. I'm rounded. I'm coming up into extension through the core. Then I'm coming back into my rounded position. That's it. That's it. Don't stop. Coming into those hovering heel taps. Plant those hands behind you. Straighten those legs out. Tap a foot, tap a foot, tap a foot, tap a foot. Core is rounded here. If you want to make it harder, you're coming into extension. As long as you don't let go of those low abs. I know. So many things to think about. All right, back plank, lift it up. Push through those hands or those elbows. Lift those hips a little higher. We got one round left. Here we go. Last round of roll backs. All right, hold it. Big extension. Back into that rounded position. Big extension. Back into that rounded position. Across my hips, if I pull in tight, I'll take it out of my hip flexors. I know. It hurts. Plant those hands. Maybe your legs are bent while you do these hovering heel taps. The tighter I pull across my hips, the better these leg lifts are gonna be. So I wanna think about pulling that pubic bone gently towards my belly button. That's it, you're almost there. Last one, back plank. Pop up on those hands. Lift those heels. Let's go. You're almost there. Lift those hips just a little higher. Push through those hands. And time. Okay, we got one more round. It's gonna be really fun. We're doing some hip complex. So we're on our hands and our knees. Exercise 1, my leg comes out to the side. I'm touching my toe to the floor, and then I'm lifting my heel as high as it'll go. Touching my toe to the floor, lifting my heel as high as it'll go. Exercise 2, clockwise circles. I know. Exercise 3, counterclockwise circles. And then my last one, I touch my knee to my shoulder and I kick it out behind me. Touch my knee to my shoulder, kick it out behind me. Round 2, we'll do the other side. Round 3, first side. Round 4, other side. And then we are done. You guys ready? Grab a sip of water if you need it. Come on down onto those hands and those knees. Plant those hands, plant those knees, pick up that foot, touch the toe to the floor, lift that heel. Remember, bend the knee to make this easier. Shorten that lever. Come down onto the elbows if you need to. Lift that core. Let's do some circles. Tiny, little circles. I'm trying to stay as long through my spine here as I can. I'm trying not to twist. This is bringing all of these elements together. The core, the glutes, the shoulders. Switch directions for those circles. Oh, bend the knee if you need to, right? It's at the hip, it's not at the foot. Nice, tiny little circles. See if you can get them even smaller. And then kicks. Bring that knee to the shoulder, kick behind you. Knee to the shoulder, kick behind you. So this is huge for the obliques. I want to really cinch that side of my body. Bring the knee up to the shoulder as high as I can go. That's it. You ready for the other side? Pick up that leg. Toes touch the floor. Heel lift as high as you can. In this position, I want to really make sure that my shoulders, my hips don't get out of line. So they're facing each other and facing the ground. Here we go, tiny little circles. Point your toes. Draw the smallest circle possible with that foot. Or if the knee is bent, with the kneecap. Lift that core up tighter across the hips. Push away from the ground, stay broad across the shoulders. Reverse directions with that circle. I know. I'm sorry. But you're gonna get so much stronger doing this. Our postural alignment's gonna get better. Our shoulders are gonna get stronger. We're gonna get more stable. And your butt's gonna look really good. Not that it doesn't already. Bring that knee to that shoulder and then kick it out behind you. Cinch along that whole side of the waist. So for this one, it's okay if we do a little twist towards the knee, but otherwise we want to try and stay nice and strong, nice and straight. Okay, you ready? We're going to do that other side. Last round on this side. Lift and lower that foot out to the side. Toes touch, heel lift. So I'm internally rotated in my hip. Turn towards my body. Bend the knee if you need to. We're gonna count the circles. Here we go. Tiny little circles. Maybe the leg is straight. Maybe it's bent. I don't care. All I care about is your abs. You don't have very much work here left, so if you need the encouragement, I want you to stay with it. Switch directions. Other directions with those circles. Second to last exercise on this side. Sorry about that. Guess my coffee got a little stuck in my throat there. Okay, last one on this side. Nice big kicks. Cinch that side of the waist. Touch the knee to the shoulder. Kick that leg up behind you. Don't forget, core is lifted. I'm nice and square. I can go down onto my elbows with my wrists still like this. But make sure, don't forget, lift, pull. All right, other side. You got this. Last round. Lifting and lowering that butt. Huge internal rotation of that hip. Toes are pointing down, heels pointing up. Don't forget about the core. And we're coming to circles. Here we go. Tiny little circles. Point your toe. You got this. Lift that core just a little higher. I know. Switch directions. Last 20 seconds of circles. Last 40 seconds of work. You're so close. Don't give up. We just have this kick left, and then we're done. Ready? All right, pull that knee to the shoulder. Kick it out behind you. Really cinch at the waist. See if you can get that knee a little higher. Touch the shoulder. Kick behind you. Lift that core just a little higher. Stay just a little bit broader across those shoulders. And time. Relax. Whew. How was that? How do you feel? Core, glutes, everything's good? Let's do a little stretch before we go. Just sit on the floor, cross one foot over so it's on the opposite knee, nice and tall through the spine here. Just push through that standing heel. Maybe this knee that's bent in the air, maybe it can go away from you a couple of inches. Feel that in the glutes. So if you're feeling like you need a little extra cardio, you could do a little cardio workout, or you could just go outside, do a little walk around the block, maybe a little jog. But don't forget, we will be doing core and cardio on Thursday. So hopefully I will see you there. Thanks so much for coming, guys. See you later.